Can you give a video going through the entire house flip project? See, kind of like the same thing, right? House flip project or wholesale process. Getting in contact with the lender. I'm not sure what he or she meant by that. Negotiating terms. From negotiation with the seller to closing. All right. So negotiation with the seller, the process doesn't stop with that. Okay. Let me see if I actually have something I can show you here. 1 second. So let's just go ahead and do from start to finish. How's that? Okay. Let's just talk about it, right? Let me see it. All right, good. I found something I can use. All right, perfect. All right. Okay, so you can see this, all right? All right, perfect. This is a perfect one. Let me hide that thing over there. All right, perfect. All right. So let's talk about this, okay? This is the process right here. This is from start to finish of this game. Either you're talking about fix and flip or you're talking about wholesalers. But as a wholesaler, most especially as a person who wants to flip houses nationwide, this right here is what you need to register in your brain. Okay, let me see if I got that question right again. The house flip project. Okay, so flipping a house. Now, if you're talking about fixing and flipping, then you probably have stages 1 through 4 taken care of for you, right? You're simply buying a house, and then you're talking about just stage 5, just basically fixing the house. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about finding deals and then making $10, $15, $20,000, no money down, no questions asked, nothing like that, by simply finding distressed owners and distressed properties, right? So the first step is data, which is property addresses and stuff like that. So however way you want to do that, if you don't learn how to do step 1, stage number 1, don't bother. Okay, don't bother about deals. See, deals is all the way to the right hand side, right? All the way stage 5. Don't even bother. Okay, if you don't learn how to do stage 1 first, don't bother yourself. Okay, so once you collect data, then you have to find the contact information. So not just finding the contact information, now you have to contact them. So you can either use the existing data from stage number 1, which is addresses and postcards. If you want to focus on just that, it gets very expensive because you got to do follow-up, because everyone is not going to pick up your postcard the first time and just call you. Some people need to see multiple touches from you. They need to see multiple informations multiple times from you before they actually call you. Some people need to see it over and over again before they actually reach out and say, yes, I'm interested in selling. On an average, there are studies that showed that people have to see up to 7 times your brand, your marketing information, your offer before they actually say, you know what, maybe I need that, right? So that's stage number 2, marketing and outreach. So you can't really depend on just postcards. So we have phone numbers that you can use to text these people. You can also use Facebook marketing. You can use social media marketing, right? And you all should be looking in that direction, by the way, okay? But you can still leverage text messaging and things like that. And because since you already do it, and that's where the highest attention is, on the mobile phones, okay? So stage number 2, you need to do it in the most cost-effective way, which means attention. Where the attention is, where you can potentially capture the attention of these people. Now, if you go back to stage number 1, you got to pick the right data, right? So you don't want to be reaching out to everyone that owns a house. Most people that own a house don't need your services, because you need to approach this from a value standpoint, right? That's the first core pillar of the 3 pillars, right? Value. How can you solve someone's problem? Most people that own a home, you're not going to be able to solve their problem by buying their home at a discount. Okay, they're going to look at you like you're crazy, like your offer is stupid, right? So just keep that at the back of your mind. Stage number 3 is when somebody raises up their hand and say, yes, I do want to sell a property, right? Now you got to start the negotiations. What is negotiation? Negotiation is, in real estate wholesaling, is not as crazy as they make it seem. You don't have to hard close anyone. You need to simply focus on the type of data that need your services the most. And that starts from stage number one. If you do stage number one right, you won't have to sell so hard. So let's say if your method is you want to drive around town and write down for sale by owners, you're going to have a difficult time. You have to sell them on the idea of selling you a house at 50% discount. They're going to look at you for the most part like you're crazy. Okay? They're going to look at you like you're crazy for the most part. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. There you go. All right. Just keep that in mind. All right. So stage number 4 is when you agree to a price. All right. And they say, yes, I just want to get rid of the house. Those are the kind of people you want to talk to. People that are motivated. They have to sell the house. They can't afford to hold on to the house. So they're not thinking, oh, your equity stiller. They're not thinking about that. They know that equity is not exactly money. Without patience, time, being able to list the property on the market, being able to take the time to get the right buyer, collect a few offers, and then go with the highest and best offer. If you don't have time for that, you don't have equity. You can't call money equity unless there's time and patience involved in that. You can write that down, okay? You cannot call it equity unless you have the luxury of time. If you don't have luxury of time, you don't have equity. What you need to be doing is signing that property away as soon as you find a way to escape any debts or liens against it. Those are the people you want to be talking to. They are a smaller percentage than most homeowners. So again, back to stage number 1. You don't want to just be talking to everyone. Okay, you need motivated, distressed sellers. That's how you find deals. It's reality that kicks in for a lot of people, and you will show up and help them solve their problem. And then in exchange, they give you a house at a significant deep discount. 65% of whatever is worth, if it's all fixed up, minus the estimated cost of repair. Okay. Stage number 5 is deals. After you lock up a good contract, now you have to be able to dispose the deal. You have to be able to find a cash buyer that will basically take over the responsibility of the contract and pay you an assignment fee. You assign the contract to them. That's the process right there. So all of this is what we break down in 11dayschallenge.com. In 11 days, you get up all set up and running. So it's easy for me to talk, right? It's easy for me to just talk, becoming a talking head. That's the process right there. If you can figure that out, if you can Google enough videos for each one of those stages, you're in the game. It's as simple as that. But again, like I said, all of those things have to be broken down into processes. Okay, you have to break that down into processes. You have to turn that into a system so you can repeat, rinse, and repeat. If you don't set up a system, you cannot do 100 deals a year. Okay, you can't even do one deal a month. Is that making sense? All right.